was there any pressure to be like him? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever feel like, dang, like, am I gonna be like, my pops? Like, am I gonna be as good as him? Like, did you ever feel that pressure, or you was just like, I'm gonna do my own thing and I'm gonna make my own way? You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to ask you that because, low key, high key, Cookie a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like, he one of them ones that's, everybody know in the city, like, yeah, Cookie was that guy. So, did you feel that pressure at all?
All the time. Like, it was always pressure and always expectation. And I was like so happy when I did not have to go to Northwestern High School.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Armand back again with another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast. I can't tell y'all no other way but top tier guest. This man is crazy because I really kind of grew up with this guy, like just coming from, with family, playing like Pee-wee, small fry. Like, we always kind of played against each other. He was a little bit one level younger than me, but seeing him across the way, I played for the Green Dragons. I forgot who you play. Trojans, I think. Y'all was tough. It was always the Trojans, Falcons, them top teams, and in Rock Hill that they had some really good all-stars and really had some good players, man. Oh, in Sylvia Circle. But man, I got a solid dude, man. I really, like I told him before the show, I say, man, I try to follow everybody that I kind of grew up with at least, and just hope and pray that they doing good. And this is one of the guys that is doing phenomenal, man. Like, I get inspired by what he's doing on a day-to-day basis, him and his wife. I was even interested in the DIY. Like, I hope they still doing the DIY projects and stuff like that, man, because I was like, man, I didn't even know Josh could do all this. Like, it was crazy how he was putting it together, man. But I already kind of gave it away, so I'm going to give y'all a rundown of who I got, man. I got Josh Massey, career job, enterprise risk consultant. He went to the Citadel. I done had some of his Citadel brothers already on here, and they talk about him in a very high light. They say, yeah, Josh, that's big bro, man. That's big bro. I don't know if you know Rod Johnson. He's chiropractor. He's like, yeah, that's big bro right there. And just, I had one more person, Attorney Gallman. I don't know if you know Attorney. Yeah, Attorney. He's a great guy. But, like I said, Citadel, Bachelor of Science in Accounting, years in the profession is 4. Man, listen, Josh, say what's up to the podcast, man.
What's up to the people? Ready to get into it. Everybody ready to boss up?
Let's do it. We're going to boss up. But listen, we can't boss up without 2 truths and a lie. I'm telling you right now. I need good 3 statements. Josh say 1 of them might be easy, 2 I might get thrown off. We're going to find out and see, man. I could be tricked up in all types of ways. So let me hear them.
My first job was unloading trucks at Lowe's.
Okay.
I've been to over half of the Major League Baseball stadiums.
Okay.
And I'm a self-taught or YouTube-taught woodworker.
Whoa. So over the half the baseball stadiums, I do believe. Bro done been to a lot of baseball stadiums. I kind of peeped that on IG. He traveled, hit up a lot of different baseball. I don't know if it over half though. There's a lot of baseball stadiums. I feel like maybe. Okay.
30 something.
Okay, and he said he went over half. Okay, I think that's true. Self-taught. What you say, wood, like the woodworker, like just crafting. Okay, self-taught. And then the first one was your first job was unloading trucks at Lowe's. I know the over the half is true. Over the half baseball, that's true. I'm just trying to figure out if self-taught is true, because I don't know, man. Cookie probably done had you out there doing all kind of stuff, man. I don't know. Look, he laughed. He like, man, Cookie ain't nothing.
Don't know nothing about
Okay. So, I'm gonna say self-taught. Woodworker is true as well too. So I'm gonna say the lie is your first job was unloading trucks at Lowe's.
I've not actually been to over half of the stadiums.
Dang, what the?
About a third of them, man. I'm a little bit short.
So, I took an L. Okay. So, not okay. Well, then tell me. First of all, tell me about Lowe's. How long was you there? Because Lowe's, that sounds like a labor job, and I know going to Ross. I used to work at Ross Warehouse in college. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go back to school. Heck no, get me up out of here.
That's exactly what it was. It was like after my freshman year at the Citadel, you know, you got football summer camps, you got to stay.
For sure.
But then really all they pay for is your book. So you gotta eat, you gotta stay down there.
Yeah.
Always had to get jobs on them trucks at Lowe's.
Yeah.
I was making, I made like 5 cents over minimum wage. Bro. I was so broke that summer, bro. I was like stealing food out of the cafeteria, everything.
Yeah. But it's tough, man, working them summer jobs. Like people like don't understand. Like, I mean, unless you lucky to go to like some of those big time, you know, Power 5 schools where they, you know, they really, you know, take care of you, give you the money. They don't understand like the you know, D1 AA sometimes, you know, definitely D2. Like some of these, I mean, we come back home like, you know, we'll come back home for a semester, stack that bread because we got to get through college. Come back for the second part of summer, work out, get ready for camp and all that good stuff. So some people just don't know the struggle, man. And it's you know, you'll learn the way. I think what it taught me the most, I don't know about you, but it taught me that labor was not for me. Like I had
exactly.
I would not be in there breaking my back at no warehouse.
Dude, they had us picking up like hot water heaters and all kinds of junk.
I get it.
Like we was still, I think you seen on my social media, but Miles, my boy Miles,
yeah,
dude, splitting $5 hot and readies from Little Caesars.
No, y'all
we had to go half on that.
No, y'all would. $2.50 a piece.
$2.50 a piece, straight coins. Little Caesars.
The struggle was real. Okay, then talk to me about. Okay, you visit to a third. Tell me all the ones, the baseball stadium that you visited, and then also just tell me what's next on the list as far as like what's the next stadium you want to visit.
Oh well, let's see. I'd have been in Chicago.
Okay.
I'd have been Fenway. I'd have been Camden Yards up here in Baltimore.
Okay.
Of course, you know I'd have been to both the Atlanta Braves stadium, the old and the new.
Okay.
Let's see. I've been from DC, Philly. Been to Philly. That's a day trip.
Yep.
Then here in DC, let me stay. Then down in Tampa, then Tampa, Miami.
Yep.
So I'm getting there. I'm probably leaving out one or two, but really southeast. So now I got to get that West Coast tour. I got to work my way down the West Coast.
You got to. You haven't been to the Dodgers,
Texas,
right?
I was about to say I've been. No, I have not been to a Dodgers game.
Okay,
That's my team. But then last summer I came out. I went to a Rangers game in Dallas, right outside of Dallas.
Yep.
So
that's what's up, man. What's your favorite stadium?
Honestly, that stadium out there in Dallas is brand new, indoor, AC, everything.
Dallas, hey, Dallas where the money at, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like them owners out there, they putting money in them stadiums. Like you got Jerry Jones out there, and then like you said,
Arlington, but yeah.
Well, yeah. And then that's crazy. So what's the one you want to hit next?
So actually, I got a few coming up in June. I'm gonna hit 3 in a week. I'm gonna go to the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay. And
then I'm gonna hit both the New York teams in the same week. So I'm gonna go to Yankees game and a Mets game all that week.
That's hard, man. And I'm pretty sure right around this time, like the baseball, like the tickets ain't too crazy around this time, is it?
Well, baseball, you can always. It depends on where you want to be.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to get to a you know, my girl be on TikTok all day. She get these ideas of going out. I'll be like, leave. I get one more TikTok. But she sent me a to the Houston Astros. Yeah, the Astros. We want to try to get to an Astros game just for like a little day and stuff like that. Like I love going to the games, but I'm not a fan of watching them on TV. So I know I don't know, you love baseball, so I don't know if you like, I can go to the games and watch them on TV. Like I don't know how you feel about that.
I can't watch them on TV. I can't. It's too slow when you're not there.
Yes.
Plus, like, if you're not a baseball person and you don't know what you're looking for throughout the whole game, or like, you just don't appreciate it the same on TV.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, then your last statement was you are self-taught I guess carpenter, woodworker. You know, is that
All that.
is it?
That's true.
That's true. So
Yeah.
you learn everything on YouTube?
Every day.
Man, ain't no way you like, bro. You good? Like,
They're on YouTube.
bro, you are good. Like I was looking at the projects, like the little. I forgot what y'all made. Y'all made a table maybe for the doorway. I think.
Yeah.
That was dope. Y'all made a few things for the house, which you know, and you had my girl looking at me like, "What can you do?" I'm like, "Listen, first of all, I don't touch power tools like that. You know, I just got my first drill. I'm over here trying to drill like paintings and stuff. Like start small." And she looking at me like, "Man, why you can't?" I'm like, "Listen, Josh different. You got to understand who Josh is. He's different. He's a different beast." And so I was like, "Man, but nah, your work is hard, man. How long did it take you to really learn and get everything down pat?"
I was about to say and I feel like my best projects really ain't even out there. I've probably been doing it for other people.
Yeah.
And then like we did a bathroom renovation. I did most of that outside of the plumbing work myself.
Yeah.
But really it started during the pandemic. I was like, well, we had just bought the house.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, all my money gone now. We can't get no furniture.
Yeah.
Like, I can make you something.
I can make you something.
She's like, you don't know how to make it? But I'm like, I seen the YouTube video. If he can do it, I can too.
Wow.
So she made me put together a list. She was like, tell me how much all these tools gonna cost and how much it would cost to buy everything that you're gonna make. And if the tools are cheaper, you could try it.
Gotcha.
So I got that while because we had a little work done to the house. So it took maybe like 2 months. I was just in there every night doing little small stuff, getting used to it on YouTube every day.
Yeah.
But after that, it was just project after project. The more tools you get, the more detail your work get.
Yeah.
All of that.
That's dope, man. And obviously you said you done projects for other people. So like, do you still do projects and you know and people still pay you for your work, or you know you kind of been chilling since you're in DC right now?
I was about to say I've been chilling more so than anything since I'm in DC. I don't really have a place up here to work.
Got it.
Just being like downtown. But my wife, she's from Richmond, so 90 miles.
Yeah.
You know, my father-in-law let me use his shed. So now most of the projects I do is at their house.
Yeah.
I retopped the deck. I just did some of their bathroom, little stuff like that. But I'm trying to think. Nobody's really paying me right now for anything. But I did get the Etsy shop going before we left and had sold a few things.
Yeah.
So
that's what's up, man. Shout out to your wife, man. She trusted you to be like, listen, I trust you. Because it could have went left. You could have tried to make something and it was wobbly, crooked, beat up. Now you're going to have to throw the wood away because what are we doing with this? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think, you know, for me, like if I do something ugly, my wife will be like, all right, we got to throw this away because it's not fitting the aesthetics. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not feeling it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We throwing it away. So that's what's up, bro, man. I really didn't know it was something self-taught. I really thought like you learned from your pops, like while you was at home, like just being around, like, and he might have taught you a few things and he just kind of picked up on it. But your look on your face is telling me otherwise.
I was about to say, I don't think I seen more than a drill when I was there. Wasn't nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could figure it out, but it didn't come from him.
That's wild, man. Okay, cool. So let's hop into it, man. So talk to me. I always, you know, I keep saying this, but talk to me because right now, you know, you're doing something that, you know, obviously I have no idea what it is. You know, we talk about enterprise risk consultant. I don't know what that is, but what did you want to be growing up? You know what I'm saying? Like walking around, being from Rock Hill, you know, playing multiple sports. Like you were one of the first people I knew that was playing, you know, football and baseball. And you were, you know, a lot of people say you were better at baseball than football, but you was a hell of a football player too. Like, you know, your nickname on the field, I don't know if everybody know, but Chopper, you know, Coach Falls, you probably let that go. You like, man, we got to drop that. But listen, you got to let it go. But, I mean, you were a great, you know, football player, but you was also a beast at baseball. But just talk to me about what you wanted to be, you know, growing up as far as like your future aspirations. And are you doing what you thought you'd be doing now?
So I knew I didn't want to play like professional sports.
Really?
My dad actually talked me out of that. So, you know, that was close to where he was. And I was like, oh, but I always want to be like you. I want to be like you. And he's like, no, be better than me, do more than me, do something different than I did. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do something different. And then my grandma actually took me to this conference, and I met this guy named Willie Gary, and he was a lawyer. So I was like, all right, I want to be a lawyer. That's what I want to do. I want to be a lawyer, and then I'm gonna be the youngest Supreme Court judge ever to get appointed to the bench.
Yeah.
And then like that just didn't happen because I was like, that's a lot of writing that you got to do. But that went out the window. But that's what I wanted to do. And then it was like, I just got to make a pivot from there and figure it out.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So we wanted to be a lawyer. We want to be, set some records, be the youngest, appointed on the, on the bench. But why would your dad? I mean, that's crazy that your dad kind of taught you out of playing professional sports. Only because a lot of people from Rock Hill, that's all we strive to do is play professional sports. So like, what was that conversation like? And like, how did what did he say to make you be like, professional sports? Nah, that ain't gonna be me. You know what I'm saying?
It was always that conversation of don't put your eggs in one basket. Just kind of learning from his mistakes because he felt like that's what he did at certain times.
Yeah,
and some people know, some people don't. Like he had a surefire, MLB career.
Yeah,
was warming up before a game, slid, broke his wrist, and that was it. Dang. And so like now you got to figure out what's next when you hadn't been thinking about it so long. So he just put the idea in my head that sports is fleeting. Like that's something that can be taken away. That's it's your body. But if you got something cerebral going on for you that you can tap into.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Now, it's crazy that you said, because Cookie is the man. Like, Cookie know people like setting records at, UNC Chapel Hill. You know what I'm saying? Was the guy, in baseball. How was, knowing that, and then you also, playing baseball, playing, multiple sports. Was there any pressure to, to be like him? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever feel like, dang, like, am I gonna be like, my pops? Like, am I gonna be as good as him? Like, did you ever feel that pressure, or you was just like, I'm gonna do my own thing and I'm gonna make my own way? You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to ask you that because, low key, high key, Cookie a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like, he one of them ones that's, everybody know in the city. Like, yeah, Cookie was, was that guy. So, did you feel that pressure at all?
All the time. Wow. Like, it was always pressure and always expectation. And I was like so happy when I did not have to go to Northwestern High School.
Man.
That I did not have to go to Northwestern.
What?
His name all over the place, pictures all over the place. I would have never got away from it.
Yeah.
And then even at South Point, baseball and football, he played with our coaches. So I'm like, still couldn't get away from it. So it was always like nicknames. Like his name Cookie, they call me Crumb. I'm like, come on, man. Let me be Johnny. Let me be three. Let me be something else.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I never even really liked chocolate, but it wasn't crumbs, so I was gonna take it.
It wasn't crumbs.
Yeah, but I mean, it came with a lot of expectation, but it also gave me, I guess, because I think what a lot of people miss is that just a model, really. I mean, a model of what could be done and where it could take you.
Yep.
Because, I mean, he sat me down at 9 years old and had a very real conversation that, hey, this is what I use this to do. This is what you're going to have to use it to do. Because I can't pay your way to school, so you got the military, you got a scholarship. So
yeah, that's real.
So it's like, hey, he at least taught me what he knew. So with those expectations came the resources. It came the push. So
yeah.
I appreciate it all together.
That's a good perspective to look at, man, because a lot of people, would look at that and just be like, because of the expectations, because of, people looking and, comparing you to him, it could kind of wear down on you mentally. And I'm not saying that it, during the years of you playing, it hasn't, but, a lot of people just don't take it well. And it looks like you took it, very well. And like you said, it lets you know, what could be done. And then you had the, what's better than it being your dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was able to nurture you and just be able to give you tips along the way. But he probably never said, like, you got to be like me, you know what I'm saying? Or forced you to be like, him. He just said, you could be you, but, I got the tips and the tricks if you want to take it to the next level and really go that far. So I think, that's dope that y'all had that type of relationship and that he set you down at such an early age and was just like, look, these are the options that we got right here. And it just lets you know, like being upfront, you know, and personal. I think that's the best way, you know, you can kind of live your life is people being honest with you and let you know what's the deal and what's not. So, but, you know, you have a similar, you know, kind of story to your pops as well, too, because, you know, we know you went to the Citadel to play ball, but, you know, your career was kind of cut short. You know, talk to us about, you know, that time and just, you know, where you were mentally, you know, going through that.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably, to this day, I would say number one toughest times or seasons in my life, just because I struggled with identity crisis. Just coming from Rock Hill is athlete. And I mean, I made good grades. Like I had all of that, but still it was athlete. Like, don't nobody give you the recognition in Rock Hill just because you got a 4 point whatever.
Yeah, they don't.
But if you get a full ride, okay, keep going there. Like, so I struggled with that. And then even when I got to the Citadel, I played as a true freshman. So I was like all in on this now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that is me. I am that dude.
Yep.
I'm him.
I'm him.
Yeah, I bought into it and I was like, all right, this is what I got. And then the concussions came and I was like, oh man, I took a little break from it. I'm like, is my heart in it? Yeah. Which my heart was never really in football like that. I just knew I could get to school for free.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I always wanted to play baseball, but then, you know, I was actually presented with the opportunity. They said, hey, if you medically retire, we'll continue to pay for school. If you want to pursue baseball, then you got to drop this football scholarship. So it was like I can sit there and do nothing, or I can pursue what I love and put my family in what I would say a bad spot, because I would have had to find some loans. I would have had to do something to come up with the money. So it was like, all right, let's make this choice. But I felt like I was, I don't know. I felt like I was choosing everybody over myself. Yeah. And that put me in a dark spot. Because then I was like, who can I run to now? Because while everybody in Rock Hill expects you to do well, there's a lot of people that are like waiting on you not to.
Telling you. Waiting on you to come back home. But like, what happened?
Waiting on you to come back home.
What happened? You know what I'm saying? Because they upset. It's a lot of people that's salty that they didn't have the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, that they wasn't him. You know what I mean? And they don't understand what come with that, man. I wish, like, and you said it, like, you don't get, coming from Rock Hill, you don't get no acknowledgement for being smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being, like, top of the class, you got a 4.0, you know, you getting all these type of academic, you know, accolades. You know, you can walk in the barbershop and people would not, like, they won't respect you. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool. But let them say, you know, let them see you on the paper, you know, tackles, touchdown. Oh, that's such and such boy. Yeah. He playing varsity in the 10th grade, 9th grade. Oh, he going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They treat you different. You walk into places and they look at you different. They treat you like the man. Like, and that's messed up. It is really messed up because, you know, when you look at the percentages of just, you know, obviously it's great. It's even great just to get a college scholarship, bro. People don't understand how hard that is. And then let alone to put pressure on them to go to school, you know, they gotta, you know, you gotta start your freshman year. Because if you don't start, you know, they gonna say, what's going on? He out of shape. You know, he went there unprepared. He don't know the plays. Like, that's
no. This the one. He shouldn't have went there anyway.
Right? Yeah. He shouldn't have went there anyway. It's like, what you want him to do? Like, what do you want a kid to do? Like, he got the opportunity to go, you know, and then, like I said, it starts to get slimmer and slimmer of you just trying to, you know, go into a professional, you know, the level. Like, that's a very slim opportunity. Like, you know, but I guess our expectations or ceilings are so high because, you know, we do have a lot of people that left, played professional ball and did great, had a great career. But Rock Hill got to understand that that's not everybody. And it doesn't have to be everybody. Everybody can't grow up and be athletes, man. Like, you just can't do it. So, you know, talk to me, like, when did you kind of witness, like, your first concussion? And then, you know, with the first concussion, was it just like, all right, cool, it's a concussion, you know, I can bounce back from this? Like, how many concussions did you have to say, oh, no, we got to slow down. Like, we done.
The first one, well, we ain't even gonna talk about South Point because I don't know how many. I don't know how many I had in high school, but in college, it was a total of 3. And the last 2 came within like 6 months of each other.
Mm.
And I think the last one, I always said had a little something to do with dehydration because I was just out of it.
Yeah.
But they sent me to a neurologist. All respect to the trainers, they follow protocol and
That's
everything.
good.
And he just sat me down and he was like, hey, we can get you back on the field in a year. Like, we recommend maybe taking the rest of the season off. And I looked at him, I was like, it's a lot of life to live after this. If I was your son, what would you tell me to do?
Good question.
And then he was like, I wouldn't let you go back out there.
Wow.
And so I was like, all right, that's it. I'm going to call it.
Bro, that's a great question to ask somebody and be like, if I was your son, what would you say? Because, most of the time, we'll go in there and be like, nah, we got to play. Like, the desire to play, to get back on that field, because, like you said, you suffer with a little bit of that identity crisis and just how people will accept you, when you're not playing ball anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If it was me, I felt like at the point in time, college, because that's how I was, I felt like football. Even though, deep down in me, I knew, I got something outside of football. But it was just how do I go home to, my pops? People, it be your uncles, it be your homies. You know what I'm saying? How you go back home and just let them know, nah, I can't, football wasn't for me. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't physically there. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's just what? You did all this work in high school, and then you just bro, things happen, man. It happens, and I think shout out to the neurologist for helping you out, because like you said, it's a longer life to live, and you hear about these cases about CTE. Sometimes that get me nervous too.
Well, I struggled afterwards too, because I had migraines twice a week for the next few months after that.
Yeah. And
they put me on what was it? I think it was technically a antidepressant, but just something to balance my neurotransmitters or whatever thing, just balance out my hormones and everything. Because I was I had some debilitating migraines for a while, and I was surprised that I made it through the rest of that semester the way I did. But after I got past that though, that competitive spirit, it never leaves.
It never leaves.
It still was in there. So then it was just about putting that in the classroom.
Yep.
Because, and I'll share here, unless people who went to school with me, they probably don't know it. But after that, when I graduated, I received the award for Underclassmen of the Year. I was the first African-American to receive the award in the business school at the Citadel. So it was still all right,
you can
it's something that takes here too. So I still want to find my lane and be the best.
Yeah. That's one thing you people, another thing, your competitive spirit never leaves. Even to this day, I feel sometimes and I've been doing working out, waking up at 4 a.m. I've been doing it consistently for about almost a month now. So hey, and what's crazy is before that, I always wanted to get back into something that kept me moving, because I felt like if I don't work out, I'm sitting here, I'm in Houston, I'm in Texas, I'm eating food, I'm gaining weight, literally just being depressed, because I'm looking at my body and I know where I used to be, and then I'm looking at where I'm at. And so now I'm bro, I gotta change something, but I always made excuses for, why I can't get up in the morning, or why I can't, be consistent working out in the afternoon. And I don't know what happened, bro. I will tell you, me and Tay a lot, we kind of are running mates, and I appreciate the conversations, seeing him grind, and we both trying to, chase the same thing, and just, seeing other people grind, and he was like, bro, you need to join, this class, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I go, and ever since I started, man, it's just I've been having the willpower to get up at 4:30, be at class at 5, work for an hour, and I got the rest of the day to myself. You know what I'm saying? I feel, but it's the competitive. But I'm also competing in that class too. It's a little, kickboxing class. So I'm competing with myself. I'm enjoying the team camaraderie with people that's trying to do the same thing. And it's just how do you talked about, channeling that energy into school. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the I mean, for most people, like that's just something you got to do. Like with that energy you got being a competitor, you got to put it in something productive. If not, you can lose yourself. Like that's another sign of just depression and always looking back at what used to be or what you could have been. You got to move on from that and say, all right, to hell with that. Like what we gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? We got to reinvent ourselves. And so that's what's up, man. I appreciate you talking about that time and just the concussions and you dealing with that identity crisis, because there's so many people that probably will watch this, or just in general, I know in Rock Hill that deal with that exact same thing. Like I know so many people that done played ball, came home, and then they just kind of they kind of lose themselves, and they got to find their way back into something that really works for them. So you left. So you went to the Citadel for one. That's another question. Why did you choose to go to the Citadel to play ball? Was that like the only school that was offering a full ride? What was your reasoning behind even going to the Citadel? Because in my mindset at that age, I was like, this is a military school. They're gonna be up there, doing all type of military stuff. But actually, when I talked to y'all, like some of your Citadel guys, it's like if you played a sport, they was like if you played a sport, it wasn't that crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say one part of that, the benefit was doing the experience. That is not the same, but if you actually buy into it, you'll get more out of the school.
Okay.
But I went because, and I had basically that whole conference, a bunch of I tagged along behind Zeke on a few offers. But that was really the one that I had the opportunity to play both sports.
Okay.
To play baseball and football. I was getting recruited for both there. So between there and Furman, and I was like, I just don't want to go Furman. So,
bro, I live by Furman and worked out in a gym. Like my old strength and conditioning coach is the head strength and conditioning coach there now, Coach Bernardi. And I went to Greenville, so we was like 15, 20 minutes away from Furman. So I'm like, man, why you want to go to Furman? Furman, nice, man.
I had to choose between Greenville and Charleston. I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the beach.
I can see that. You like, I don't want to go to the beach. Okay, I can see that. That's what's up. And then while you were there, you majored in what did you major in?
So it started off as just business, but then we got accredited as a school that could have an accounting major. So I ended up majoring in accounting.
Got you. And then after you graduated, what was what was your mindset? What did you have in place? After you graduated, did you have a job lined up afterwards? Did you, did you kind of take some time at home and kind of figure it out? Was the applying to jobs and getting a job easy? I know when you stamped with that Citadel.
Now, Cookie Massey would have let me just come home. So I had something like that. My route was a little different than I was at a lot of people's.
Yeah.
First of all, the industry that I'm in, I didn't know existed until my sophomore year. They held an information session and they told us, hey, it's going to be free pizza in here. I went for the free pizza. And then I heard about this company, EY, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I hear, they paying how much?
Yeah.
Let me figure out some more. And so I applied for the internship after my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
I got into the internship, which was crazy. It felt like I was being recruited for football again. They literally paid for my travel to come to the office, put me up in the hotel, fed me for the weekend, all of that.
That's dope.
And got that internship. I worked the whole summer. And then during my exit interview, they offered me the job. So before I got back to school my senior year, I had already accepted that position.
Okay.
So I went the whole senior year knowing. So then I graduated in May, started in July. So I just kind of had to wait on my start date, but I had already,
locked in.
Signed the contract. Yeah, I'm locked in. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
So I don't know. I was blessed in that aspect just to know what I was going to be doing.
That's good that you had the opportunity to set yourself up. Talk to how important is it for the viewers and listeners? This is very I still try to be educational, be super educational. How important is it to go to these events on campus? Even when you think they corny, you waste your time. Tell them because you could have easily missed out on that opportunity because you just went for the free pizza. But let's just say I bumped the free pizza. I ain't really hungry. You would have missed out on that EY opportunity to get that internship. So it's just what would you tell kids, while they in college, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are some of the tips that you would say as far as like putting themselves out there?
I would say, and this I actually practiced when I got to EY. You get in every circle that you can while you can.
Okay.
Because the world gets a lot bigger once you graduate.
Yeah.
It's harder to meet people in a certain space because people get busy, life start happening.
Yeah.
So when you got people literally coming and they want to tell you, like, and I go back to schools now. We don't get paid any extra to do it. You don't get time off to do that. People are really coming to like serve you or really just grow you in a lot of times because, they get no benefit from it.
Right.
So, I mean, tap into that. Like, even if you don't think you'll like that position, who knows what that person from EY might have done later in their life. They could have left and started their own, sports agency. If that's what you into, you made that connection. So, right. I mean, the connections are endless that you can make while on campus. It's just a place where I think you have a lot of different professionals and academics all come into one place to try to help kids.
Yeah, that's huge, man. Like, and I know for me, I took it for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to a all predominantly, white school. Sometimes I felt like, I went to a Christian school, so a lot of things were really based off being being a missionary or ministry and stuff. I'm like, I know, like, listen, me and God got a great relationship, great faith. I just know that ministry, like being a missionary or being in a mission, that's not me. So I'm really trying to find things that are tailored towards me. And they really didn't have a lot of things tailored towards, me being, black. The things that I really are interested in, it was really basically the things that they offered. You know what I'm saying? But I know I should have, done a little bit more, put myself in certain groups to just at least gain the relationship from those people. You know what I'm saying? Even if nothing comes out of it, it's just the relationship because, I see people on Facebook and who knows, at a time where I'm like, oh, you doing something that I like to do. Like, you could plug me in, but because I didn't make the relationship or I didn't really put myself out there, I don't know you like that. And you probably not willing to put my name on your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, because once you recommend somebody, like, y'all tied together now. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make me look good because if you don't, like, now I'm looking bad and I'm looking down out here. So that's really important. And you hit on, like I said, when you said you went to the event just for the food, but ended up getting an opportunity out of it, like that's how a lot of times a lot of these things happen. But I want people to understand, like, just do it because it's gonna benefit you maybe in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And you might not get anything out of it.
I was about to say, though, in college, though, I think what a lot of us don't understand is we got too much pride, but we don't realize we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to something, you might fall in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many different options out there to make the money or pursue. Like, you can have this one passion, but it's 10 ways to pursue it.
Yeah.
And if you don't listen to the people who are actually doing it, how you ever going to figure that out? It's trial and error now when you got a leg up right there in front of you.
Yep.
So just go.
Yep.
What's 30 minutes of your time? What are you really doing that's better than investing in yourself?
Playing the game.
In college.
Getting another nap. Man, but yeah, that's true, man. And don't prolong like the whole, like, exposure leads, like you said, you don't know what you don't know. Exposure leads to expansion. And so, I try to bring I want to bring all careers to the table so people can never say, like, I didn't know this existed or I didn't know this was out there. Like, it's a platform where you can, like, I got people that's doing a wide range of everything. I got their contact information. You can just tap in and say, look, I seen your episode on Big Boss Talk. I just got a few questions. Like, that's the type of impact I want this podcast to have. Not for, for views and likes. It's really, I want to create something for us where people can feel at ease to reach out to people. Because I know LinkedIn can be scary sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, trying to reach out to people and just ask them questions. Who knows? They might not even be on LinkedIn. A lot of times when you're trying to reach the top people, you got to have a paid subscription. Like, it's getting very monetized. You know what I'm saying? So it's getting harder to, get the information. But, I really hope this platform to me, like, you know, if anybody's looking, especially kids, or even if you're an adult just going through like a crisis of trying to, you know, you're doing something that you don't really like and you're trying to find your passion, you can use this platform to really lock in with people and ask them, you know, how are you being successful? What does it take? And what does it look like? So I think you hit on a good point as far as just putting yourself out there in college so you can interact with people and you can get information that you just don't know. Which is dope.
The real world come fast after college. You ain't got time to just be figuring it out.
Man, come quick, cause I'm telling you, I wish I could go back sometimes, like 4 years, get them meals. You know what I'm saying? Housing. You know, when bills start to come, it get a little stressful. You be like, all right now, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's a beautiful thing, but it's hard work, man. Like mentally, physically, it like life just like I never I got this Rocky poster. And that Rocky line when he was like, it will beat you and beat you and beat you until you know, you just gotta keep getting up. Like, that's a true statement, bro. Like it's definitely true, because things will come, it will knock you down, and you gotta have the willpower to get back up every single time and face the same situations. And, you know, having a strong faith helps as well too. You know, knowing, you know, where you come from and whose you are. You know, it leads you to, you know, understand that you can conquer all, you know, through him. And so, but understand that, like, I look at that Rocky post and I'll be like, man, I always just thought it was a great hype line. Like, I looked at it from football, like, okay, I get smacked, I'm gonna get up again.
You know?
But it's for life, bro. It really is. So we got EY, we got a job, you know, we got this you know, job locked in after school. And, you know, we don't have to worry about, you know, waiting. We don't have to go through a whole bunch of interviews, which is great. How was EY? What were you doing with EY? And are you still with the same company, or have you kind of...
Same company.
Okay, so we still with the same company. Okay, so tell me about, you know, EY and just what are you doing, you know, on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I mean, it was not what a lot of people expected. It wasn't what I expected. A lot of people heard, oh, accounting, he finna go get his CPA. He finna go do taxes.
Yeah.
I don't do taxes and I don't do numbers. So for anybody who be thinking accountants, all they do is numbers, I'm trying to think, 0 numbers. I just had to make sure. It's really like a people thing for me at this point. So when I started, really it was about internal audit, more risk advisory. So people might bring us in, hey, we got this process that's broken. Yeah. Come figure out what it is and help us fix it. So I ended up more in this consultant or problem solver role.
Yeah.
When I thought, man, I'm gonna be in here I'm gonna head down 60 hours a week doing numbers. It's not that. So I was pleasantly surprised. And when I first started, though, I didn't have the problem solver role. I didn't understand enough. So I definitely had to earn my stripes and say, you know, my manager, my senior just figured out the problem. Now it's my job to go fix it.
Yeah.
I had to still have my head down and do some fixing, but you got to earn your stripes in any career. You're going to work your way up. So that wasn't bad. But now I am in that role where, you know, I am the liaison between our team and the client or external auditors or, you know, whoever it may be. So I do get that face time. And that's what I like about the role is the different people.
Yeah.
I would be bored out of my mind if I just, well, now I do because I'm working remote, but if I just sat at a desk every day. But before I was going knocking on doors, hey, like, this is what I saw. Let's grab 30 minutes or let's go sit over here, you know, at this little break room or whatever. Let's chop it up real quick and really break down the issue. So it's not monotonous, you know, the consulting field, and it's very broad. So I would recommend it just for that sense, because you're young, you don't know what you really want. Keep it broad. Don't pigeonhole yourself to one thing so soon.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up. So we do a little bit of consulting. Obviously we started off, you know, when you hop in roles like that, because I've done something, you know, I guess now, you know, just working with technology and working with businesses now, like when they have issues and you have to be like, figure out a solution to fix the problem. When you first start, you have no idea what the solutions are. So you like, listen, this is what they said. Their problem is, I need help on, what do I suggest to them? And I think over time, after you hear certain problems long enough, you hear common problems over and over, you know where to go. You know what I'm saying? Your job becomes a little easier because I've worked with a company with this issue. This is what we did to fix it. I work with, you might find little nuances that's a little bit different in each situation that you have to adapt to. But for the most part, like that time in, you really learn. So talk to me about do they always offer that internship, or they, because let's just say if somebody wants to get into, risk consulting, or they like the idea of what you do, what's the best way for them to, get into that career field? Would it be through an internship? Can they go directly, online to apply in it, and if they do, what credentials do they have to have? Do they got to have a certain degree? Do they, you know what I'm saying? Tell me, how can we help somebody that really enjoys, they feel like, oh, this might be the way for me? What resources do we have to get them in there?
Yep. I think first, it depends on what level you want to enter into this thing. So I work at one of the big four firms. So they start their, hiring 2 to 3 years out. Okay. So they know who's going to start. So then you have to start in college, but they have different internship programs. So if it is, somebody who is a minority, there's a certain program that'll bring you in a year ahead of everybody else. Okay. So as a sophomore in college, you can get an internship. It's rotational. You get to try out tax. You get to try out audit, risk, consulting. You get to try out every little thing just to make your mind up. Yeah. After that, if you're a junior or senior, you get to serve clients. You actually get to go in and do what you would be doing on a day-to-day.
Okay.
I think those opportunities are very important, but like I said, if you want to go to a level that high, you got to start early.
Okay.
I definitely know people who waited, who didn't make up their mind as soon, but they still had opportunity. You just might not be at the biggest firm, but you're pretty much going to be doing some of the same work, just with smaller clients.
Gotcha.
So, business is business. It operates the same. Mm-hmm. It's just about scale sometimes. So gotcha. I don't think time is the biggest factor. I think making sure that you have the skills is key. So I would say either accounting, data analysis, or anything with management information systems. You got to just think, for the consulting world, it's about problems. The consulting world is about problems, and it's a pyramid to it. You'll start off as a problem fixer, then you'll become a problem identifier, then you're a problem solver, and then at the top, you're just a problem preventer. So you got to start picking up the skills where, how is that going to play into figuring out these problems, solving them, fixing them, and preventing them?
Yeah.
And a lot of that is really kind of what industry you want to be in. So I went into public accounting. So I could be assigned to any client. So, a lot of it's going to be learning on the fly, because you can't learn all that.
I was going to say, yeah.
As long as you have some of the base level skills, it's applicable client to client.
Gotcha. So you definitely got to come in with some type of background.
Some knowledge. I would say background knowledge. No experience really.
But just some type of knowledge, because I get a lot of people that hop on here, and I can look up their job on LinkedIn and it'll give me a whole list of, we looking for this. They ain't had that. You know what I'm saying? They by the list, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they be like, to be honest, you learn kind of everything once you in the road. School can only do so much when you in interactive roles like this, where you got to talk to clients, you got to take an issue and be able to problem solve. School cannot prepare you for that. They can't prepare you for the issues that people will come to you and fix. So a lot of times you do learn on the fly, and I think that gives people a little bit more. It takes a little bit more pressure off, because when you look at LinkedIn, it does scare people as far as the credentials that you must have. But hearing you talk, there should be some type of base knowledge. You can't come in with no type of, it seems like you can't come in with no knowledge. I don't know if people done finagle their way in there with no knowledge and just kind of.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I might be one of them. Might be one of them. Hey. I got in there, I was like, oh.
But hey, that's what you got to do though. You got to do that though. Like the most people that take advantage of the biggest opportunities, they just say yeah. Like they don't.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. They just say yeah. So if you listen to this, definitely if you feel like you up for the challenge, then definitely just say I figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But if you one of those people that like to have your ducks in a row or feel a little bit more confident, just understand you got to have a little bit of base knowledge. But most of the time you'll learn on the job from what Josh is saying. Tell me, what are some skills that make you good at what you do? Like what skills do you have or that you had to work on that make you good at what you do, whether it's time management, whether it's
I was about to say that is not one of them. So the first 2 years, really, a lot of the feedback I got was about efficiency.
Okay.
So everybody, hey, Josh, you do great work. Got to pick up that efficiency though, because in this business, time is money. You bill by the hour. You bill your client by the hour. If I'm spending too much time, I'm blowing the margin. I ain't making no money.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, that's a skill to have, but I think what has gotten me to where I am has been attention to detail.
Okay.
I'm very detail oriented, and that's something that's not super specific to accounting or consulting or anything. That's just being a detail oriented person.
Your personality.
It lends itself well to what I do on a day to day.
Gotcha.
Also, being, and this is going to sound a little deep, but empathetic. Like I said, when you have to become a problem identifier, which is where I think I am now,
mm-hmm.
you got to be able to listen to people. You got to be able to understand, because while it may seem like just work to you, this is what people live on a day to day. So being a people person, being able to listen and, ask a follow-up question, ask 2 or 3 follow-up questions to be able to get to the root of the problem.
Yep.
It's a skill that will take you a long, long way in what we do. Mm-hmm. And then something that's in everything I think is underrated is sales. Like some of the people I work with can sell salt to a slug, and they will never be without a job because somebody got to spin up some business development for us to get these clients.
Yeah. So
that's going to be there, and we need those people. So, I mean, I think it's a place for people who have that technical excellence, and there's a place for like people who just understand people, and can communicate that way. So, I mean, I think, what did I say? Those three or four, whatever.
Like 4. So you was just like, obviously efficiency, because time is money. You talking about detail, being detail oriented, and then you also talked about this being empathetic, and then sales. So you gave us 4 just different skill sets that you use on a daily basis that help you be successful at what you do. And I think, a lot of times that's just those qualities that you mentioned. I think those are qualities for just as an overall, just being a great person. But also I think those translate over to every field. You know what I'm saying? Like those are very transferable, like no matter what you do, even if you're a doctor, lawyer, being empathetic, efficiency, sales, a lawyer has to sell itself to the person that's maybe in trouble or fighting away the trouble. Like you got to believe that he can get you out of this, and then just as a doctor, you got to be able to sell yourself as a very empathetic person that you enjoy taking care of people. I know you hit on a point as far as just being empathetic. When you can go into your job and really, take the idea of I'm just working, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just here to, get this check, you know what I'm saying? Like what you need, I got you. But if you can really build solid relationships with the people that you work with and understand that this is how they survive. You know what I'm saying? So they take this way more serious than how you take it. And so for you to empathize with them and really ask those good questions, get into detail, they like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they are more inclined to say, Josh, I like working with Josh. Like, I got a problem. Let me run it back. Hey, Josh, this is what's coming up. This is the problem. Can you help me? And that's how you stay paid, to be honest. That's the relationship.
Recently, he's like our managing partner for the entire region. He like had a one-on-one with him. He's like, Josh, one thing I will always leave you with: people don't fire their friends. And he was like, that's it. Like you got to make them relationships. People do not fire their friends. Like I got people who message me now about tennis, they kids, or they doing home renovations.
Yeah.
We talk about little stuff like that. People don't fire their friends. So,
Facts.
I mean, that is key.
That's key, man. That's key. So you hit on a lot of just different things, like relationships is huge. Like, get out of your comfort zone. I know, some people, personality wise, like sometimes people aren't the ones that's going to really put themselves out there, which is totally fine. I think you sometimes limit yourself though too. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get scared to go outside of the bubble of fear or go outside of the bubble of comfort, like sales and talking to people is one of the most uncomfortablest jobs ever. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how they're gonna receive you. You don't know what's gonna come out your mouth there sometimes. Like, I done been in meetings before and I don't know what I just said. Like, this don't make no sense. Let me run this back. Hold on. And you gotta go through that to so the next time like, let me make sure, like, maybe it's your preparation, maybe that's a lesson you learn, like, I need to prepare for these meetings so I know what I'm talking about. Whatever they throw at me, I can answer it. I'm efficient enough to get it done, because it was times where I was going into meetings and I was like, oh, I got it, you know what I'm saying? We talking about what, phones? We talking about internet? Like, it's nothing. But then they asked me, what cat do I need for my my internet router, and how do I get the optimal speeds? What do I need to put it in the building? I'm like, I don't know, just sit it in the middle and hopefully you get internet. Like, that's what I know. But you cannot do that though. So I think it's cool that you said that those skill sets, man. Those are some top skills. What is something that you don't like about what you do? Because it's always good, there's always bad, but I believe in transparency. So what I mean by what you don't like is just who is not suited for this job, because there are some skill sets where people, okay, I don't like working with people. Okay, well, you don't need to do this job.
Yeah, you don't need to do what I do.
You know what I'm saying?
Because pre-pandemic, I sat around a table with 15 other people every single day. And there were times where I worked with them people from 8 a.m. to 11:30 midnight. Because, I mean, you're going to have them busy seasons in the like, it's just what it is. You're going to have them seasons where it's like a stretch of a month or two, where you're going to pull them long days. And, shout out to EY, they pay for all your dinners and stuff, but you eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner with these people.
Wow.
So if you're not a people person, I would say, maybe find a different role or a different place.
Yeah.
Because you're going to do that, at least for, I would say, the first few years, like, you're just going to do it.
Yeah.
But then,
like, what gives you trouble, at work? I wouldn't say something you don't like. It's probably nothing that you really don't like, but it's just stuff that you wish, like, I wish I could not have to do this, like.
Really, I'm telling you, I have these ebbs and flows of people. Like, you're going to run into so many types of, like, yes, you have your client, but then you also are going to step into a role of leadership. And now you got to learn how to lead people.
Yeah.
And that is the hardest part that I think about any job, is learning how to lead and manage people.
Grown folks.
Like, sometimes I'm like, I just want to be an individual contributor. Give me my work. Let me do me. And I'm out.
Yeah.
But instead of, all right, what you got to do today? What you got to do today? Like, all right, let me check in with you at 12:30. I'm going to check in with you at 1. Like, it's like, y'all grown.
I shouldn't have to do this.
But it's a part of the job. It's a part of the job. And that's the part I think that sometimes drains me.
Okay.
Because I'm a people person, but I don't always want to have to be on. So I think that's the hardest part for me, is that you are always on, basically.
Got it. Okay, cool. I mean, that's the honest answer. Like, I've been in leadership roles. I'm an individual contributor now. I see the pros and cons of both. Being a leadership is tough, especially for us. Like, we are pretty young to be leading people. Like, I know I became a manager, I was like, what, 25, 24, 25, leading people that's been at the company for 8-9 years. Like, I gotta listen to this young fella, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta go through that. Then you don't want to be too aggressive, because then they're gonna be like, who is you? You know what I'm saying? So, it all these different personalities, can be tough. But, I will say, dealing with those personalities, if you have aspirations of building, having a business, building a company, I think, a cheat code is managing people, because you learn how to deal with people, you learn how to treat people, and you learn how people like to be treated. So you can take that same skill set, put it over in here in whatever your personal endeavors are, and just use those skill sets to, empower your employees or empower the people that you work with, because from dealing with so many different people or being in a leadership role, you understand. So it's a lot of different pros and cons to each individual contributor. Sometimes, for me, I get tired. Like, I know it's just me, so I'm like, nah, let me take a day. Just
ain't nobody checking.
Yeah, like ain't nobody checking on me, man. Let me just take a day. But that you take that day, then you might take too many days, and then now you're not setting yourself up for the, for that rotation or for that, sales funnel that you usually have. You kind of just let that die down. So, it is what it is, man.
Before you move on, let me just please hit on that.
Go ahead. What you got?
People, take your time. If they give you them vacation days, don't leave none on the table. Take your time. You said, like, I might need to take a day. I don't want to take too many.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type, I'm going to make them tell me, all right, Josh, you taking too many.
you pushing the envelope.
I got to. I got to. It's so much world out here to see. I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah, that's what's
I'm gonna do it. That's what I work hard for.
Hey, that's what I work. That's what I do, man. I don't work here for nothing. I gotta go out.
Exactly. So I wouldn't do it for free. I mean.
That's what's up, man. So, man, listen, man, we done came to kind of like the end, man. If you could believe it or not, we've been on here for about a good hour, man, and the conversation to me has been very enlightening. I enjoyed just getting an insight on you, man. Like, I know we, grew up together, been tight, but just after, when we go off to college, you don't really talk or see people as much, and you just want to know how they doing. I always just want to make sure that everybody doing okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about nothing else. As long as you mentally okay, I think that's all that I can care about, because I know, like, people tend to suffer on their own, and you just never know. And you hear all these different cases now. Mental health has become a huge thing, and so I just never take it for granted, because I know for me, sometimes I can be in my own head, I can talk myself down, and but I just want to make sure everybody else is okay and doing well. So, man, I'm glad I got to get you on the show, and you dropped a lot of gems for for the people watching, listening, and viewing, and shout out to EY for taking care of you, man, and continue to travel, continue to take those vacation days. I do want to ask, you said obviously you're going to go visit 3 baseball stadiums in a couple of weeks. What's a big trip that you and the wife got planned, as far as like going out the country? Y'all doing anything for the year?
We're going to Brazil in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
We'll be in Toronto, like I said, in June, and we'll be in New York. Then July 4th, we'll be in Portugal.
Man, who your travel agent? Like, how you get these trips, man? I need to figure something out, because I be like,
I'm the travel agent. I got you on that now.
I really need
some tricks for that now.
Bro, send them to me, because I really want to. I want to travel more. It's just I don't know how to book trips, and I get scared. Like, booking out of the country trips scare me, because I'm like, I can't get lost. Like, that's one of my big. I'm not about to get lost, and then if I don't speak the language, I'm like, oh no. So I get nervous.
I learned some travel phrases, but then I mean, it's about being flexible, really.
Okay.
That's where you catch the best prices, and then like we're working on Tokyo in the fall, sometime in the fall. So we're trying to travel within like 4 different continents this year.
That's dope.
To do it big.
That's dope, man. Well, y'all take me along the ride. I'll definitely be on Instagram looking. I'm like, there you go. There you go, Josh. So, but man, I thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go. The last thing I need is a recommendation, bro. Like, 1 to 2 recommendations of people. That's how we keep the podcast going. Obviously, Big Crump, your guy, he recommended you, and I was just like, Josh easy to get. I know my boy. I can get him on the show. And so, Crump, great guy, by the way, too. Like, just solid dude. He recommended you, so I need at least 1 to 2 recommendations of people I should sit down with that you feel fit the mold of the podcast, and definitely, maybe somebody that inspires you or that you kind of look up to. let me know who you got before you go.
Yeah.
And
And one of them I actually reached out to, Tyus Carter.
Carter. Okay.
He's in real estate investment. I see his information, but I look up to him because of how much he believed in himself. Like, I'd like to think that I'm adventurous, but he was also at a Big Four accounting firm, left it all, decided to do his own thing, and now he out to thrive. So, silent praises that I always give him. He don't know it, but he'll hear it now.
Yeah.
Definitely reach out to him.
Okay.
I already made the intro on the low. And then somebody should be completely shocked that I said this, but Elena Green. I went to the Citadel with her.
Okay.
I also went to the Citadel with Ty, but I went to the Citadel with her. Actually, I don't even know what she does professionally, but I know she's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
She started her own line of like pet snacks. So like for her dogs.
Oh, that's hard.
That's different.
That's different. I need that.
I don't know anybody else who does that. And she just seems to have so much fun. You know, she's on TikTok, Instagram, doing her cooking channel, all of that. So
okay.
Shout out to her too.
We need that. So if you could just send me that information, man, just let them know like, hey, this guy Armand, you know, I grew up with him. He gonna reach out to you. You know, great mission, great podcast. If, you know, if you say yes or no, it doesn't really matter. But I did recommend you. That way, it's a warm toss off. That way, when I hit them up, they not really surprised. So if you can send me Tyus, Elena Green, I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna get them booked on the show, man. And I appreciate you, bro. And I want y'all to have a good night, you and your wife. And if there's anything I can do to help, you know, what you got going on, I know you guys got the hats and everything like that. So let me know, and then I'll do my best to, you know, try to, you know, use this platform to kind of help you guys out.
All right. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you. It was a joy to come up here and speak with you, man. I love what you're doing. I'm all about it. And same likewise. Let me know whatever I can do to help push this thing.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Well, I'm going to let you go, bro. Take it easy.
All right. Yes, sir.